Let's go then. Welcome to Taking Stock. We're back. 2024, 12 o'clock. Oh, John, how's things? Were you on the nice list?
Yeah. I am. Happy New Year, by the way.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. Phil's in there. He wins the award for first comment of the day.
Splendid.
Happy New Year. First comment of the year as well. Oh, hang on. I've got to mute something. I forgot how to do stuff here. Hang on, I've got to mute something because
What have you got
I
on
can hear
mute?
myself coming back at me. Oh, there we are. No, sorry, there we are. So join in, please. Hit that subscribe button. We didn't make 5,000, but we will this year. And if we don't make it this year, we're off.
We will this year. We will.
Yeah. AI Investor, Happy New Year to everyone. Super Mono, Happy New Year to you all. Hope it's a prosperous for everyone. Happy New Year, chaps. That's Lemon Physical. Yes. Are you getting physical this year, Johnny? Have you made any New Year's resolutions?
Oh, I'm not drinking in January, so we'll try that, see how far I get. And
Yeah,
I have to say, I'm not alone. There are a lot of people who are giving it a go this year.
yeah. Well, I
So
assume.
reflected in the Diageo share price.
Yeah, but I assume most bars, leisure groups, all that stuff, they do double, triple the amount in December, pretty much. So
Yeah.
January, people worry about that, but I don't think it's too much of an impact. They've done so
It's
well into December.
exactly. It's never a good time for pub groups, January. But what I did hear, anecdotally from heading out and about over Christmas was that a lot of the pub groups are saying they had their best Christmas in years and
Yeah,
years.
yeah. Well, it's been disrupted, hasn't it? Last year was like almost the train
Mm.
strikes. Year before was like COVID lockdowns, and so I suppose this is the first good run at it they've had for a
Yeah,
long time.
so they'll be looking at their comparatives from like pre-COVID 2019, and
Yeah.
they're ahead of that now. So yeah, it's been good. I suspect we'll get some good numbers from the leisure sector.
Yeah. Well, listen, the title of today's show is New Year, New Bull Market. And I want to show you something here. Look at this. This is the AIM share on the chart, right? And look at that. It's above the bull bear line,
Really?
regarded highly as a 200-day moving average. Now, it did try and do this before, but rolled over. It's not doing that now. You can see it's sort of it's holding a little bit here. And I look back at this, right, at the stats in this. The last two sort of big bear markets, .com, Great Financial Crash, whenever the AIM share has gone above the 200-day moving average. Listen to this. There was a 45% return from March 2003 to August 2004
Mm.
before it touched the 200 moving average. And then it went higher. Even it just touched it, it's consolidated, went higher and did about 95% gain. That's from March 2003 to March 2005. In 2 years, the actual index doubled pretty much. And even on the Great Financial Crash, it did a 32% return after it crossed that 200-day moving average before it touched it again. And then it went higher again after that. It consolidated. They went up to 91% by 2011. So I think we could be at the start of a bull market here. Like I said, we all know it's, the economy and the markets don't really move in sync. And I think we could see the start. I mean, obviously, not straight up. You'll have some data coming out. In fact, manufacturing data. If you look at this quickly, if you look at the manufacturing data today for December, it's not very good. It was below estimates. 46.4 was the estimate. 46.2 it did. But again, that's not bad for inflation. Inflation will come down, and so the central banks are okay. The economy is slowing down, feeling the pinch, and so they may sort of. I mean, what are they saying? I mean, some people are saying now Q1 even. They're saying that some interest rates may come off. So
Q1 would seem a little bit premature, but there's definitely talk that we may see rate cuts in the US in the first half of the year. UK, you'd expect the same. Lots of talk is that there'll be a recession, but it's going to be mild.
yeah,
Both in the US and the UK, so sort of the soft landing scenario seems to be playing out. And as you say, inflation retreats, therefore rates, ultimately follow that down, and that is only good news for the markets, really.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I've said this before, but the reason why it's going to be good. Oh, hang on, I've lost myself. The reason why it's going to be good is that if you think about it, there's a lot of people, investors, who've left the market because they've been losing money on AIM for like 2 years. And they think, well, hang on, why should I lose like 30-40% investing in stocks where I can get a safe 5% in a savings fund or government bonds, whatever. Now, when that starts to flip, And
Yeah,
you'll see the markets rally. So all of a sudden, you'll see fear of missing out because these people now, who interest rates will come down, so they get less return than that. So let's say it goes down to 3%, they get 3% return on their savings, and
yeah,
you see the stock market rallying or stocks rallying by 20-30%. You have a flip, so money will come out of all those safe sort of plays and back into the market, and that'll power the market higher. So I think 2004 will be a blow. Yeah, I've said it for a
yeah,
while. I think it will
yeah.
roll over a little bit. It'll be a little bit volatile at the start, but I think towards the back end, I think it'll be a blowout year for 2024.
I mean,
So
last year you could easily pick up, 6% interest on a bank account.
yeah,
And I think, a fairly well known bank, Ulster Bank, were doing it. You
yeah,
got your 85 grand protection on that. Today I've got an interesting offer from NatWest, and they're offering
yeah.
6% on the first 5,000 and 1.75
Okay.
after that. So yeah, you're right. Those products, those high interest accounts will disappear, and that will encourage people to put their money back into sort of high yielding assets, and equities obviously fit that bill. Bonds, high yielding bonds fit the bill.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's the last chance to grab those, high interest, safe, secure sort of investments there. But like I said, if you see, you know, investments you've held before and they've gone down, they jumped by 20-30% in the first quarter, you think, oh my word, here we go.
Mm.
But let's
I
look
still,
at
I
the
still
rise.
don't think I still don't think this is it can be a uniform rally. Certainly not on AIM. I
Yeah.
think there's still a lot of trash, for want of a better word, to sort of be
There is a
to
lot
be
of
to
trash.
get to come out of the system. And some of the good companies have already started to recover, but I still think there's pockets of value left on AIM.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. In fact, we look at that. But here's look at the markets today. In fact, the FTSE's down. In fact, the best performer today, only by a smidge, there is the AIM All share up 0.12% to 764. FTSE went down 0.3. FTSE back down and almost half of 1%, 250. Biggest rise there is Marks and Sparks.
I guess
Pretty
that's
good
on the back
Christmas.
of Christmas trading news. Audi and Lidl was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, Little and
Um,
Aldi said they did very well. That's what we were just saying before we came on here. I said, I go to my mother-in-law's over Christmas. And it's a double whammy because my mother-in-law buys like this. You can times 10 of us. It's only our family, and then there's like 6 of us. She buys for like 18 or 30 people. So it's rude not to get through the food. Try and get through the food. And then my father-in-law's got his own bar at the end of the garden. So it's like
dangerous.
non-stop. I almost thought I've had too much time off. And let's see much per half a stone. But you can see, and you said the same. I don't know who it was, but you said your parents buy a lot of, or your mother and mother-in-law buy a lot of food, and you can see why supermarkets, everyone does so well over Christmas because
Yeah,
everyone just overbuys
well, they
massively.
they did go to Lidl. We actually went to Lidl as well for our home shop. It is. I mean, those discounts are hard to knock. That
Yeah.
said, I did go to Marks and Spencer,
Mm.
and what I've never seen before is a queue for Colin Christmas caterpillar cakes.
We had one of
A
those. Yeah.
queue. You had to pre-order them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. It's almost like a thing. I don't know why they buy them. My kids are like not the age where they like that kind of stuff.
No,
My wife,
no.
the good thing is, right? They never get through all their food, so we bring most of it home to us. It lasts for weeks. But we've got I think about a quarter of a Colin caterpillar left. I think his tail's probably left in the cupboard there. But
There you go.
look at Marx's
It's doing something
chart.
right though.
Look at Marx's chart though.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's going twice the speed of Colin the caterpillar. That's
Do
going
you know,
very well.
do you know when I'd say these shares are not really too expensive either? It's 12.7 times forecast earnings. I mean, it's a great recovery story.
Yeah, they are the most followed
What am I looking
on
at?
Vox. I know there's a video there. Look at that. They
Uh,
were the most. They're down to
yeah,
number
yeah.
4 now. But this morning they were the most followed on Vox. Mark. So it's nice to see some big stocks getting in there. I do think, like I say, the cost of capital isn't going to come down very quickly. So I do still think there's always room for hope by potential stock in your portfolio, pre-revenue stock that has lots
Mm.
of potential. But I think generally you're better still. We're not at the bull market of the end of 2021. I think it's better still getting companies the good value, generating cash still. They're profitable and don't have to go back to the market because if you have to go back to the market, it's still hard work.
Mm.
Really. Anyway, by the way, I want a quick look at this 2024 for 2 reasons. Screen that you put up there because just a reminder of what was this for now, John? It was like profitable
It's
companies.
growth and value, wasn't it? We're looking for
Yeah, growth and value.
growth and value.
And I did say I've owned 2 companies on this. I'm going to mention which one of the ones I hold. So I really liked it a while back. I think it's still going to do well, and that's Time Finance. I bought this about a month back. And I just looked at the figures. It was outperforming. They released figures saying it's going to outperform again. Basically, they've stepped in and do what the banks used to do, and that's loan to small and medium-sized businesses. And they've had a change of, since COVID, they had a bit of a hard time. Change of CEO. The strategy is about now loaning off their own book. But they're quite conservative on that. And if there's anything that fits that, goes outside that risk paradigm, they loan that out to somebody else, or broker it out to somebody else.
Well, small businesses are the lifeblood of the UK economy, really.
Yeah.
There are so many small businesses, and they have been over the years starved of capital, and there's some very, very good companies out there. So yeah, I'm kicking myself for not buying this. We've talked about it so many times.
Well, I think it's still, look at this. I went to put it through my spreadsheet, right, and it scored top marks, and I'll show you. So this is 12 months. This is 6 months, and if you look there, growth is fine, 17, 12 for interim, but look at the operating profit growth at 58%. In fact, the last full year was operating profit growth. And so if you go down to the metrics, you think, okay, the operating profit could grow, but what's the valuation on that? Look at that, PE of 10, price to book. They are below net asset value. You know, the net asset per share is 67 pence. They are 36 pence. And I think they've got growth, they've got value. Now, if you combine those two, you're onto something good. Now, and also you need to get the timing right as well. But the chart is also looking very good. So, you know, lots of green there, and the potential there. I just quite like it. I think I should have got in a long time ago. I mean, I liked it a long time. I thought, have they got scale? And I thought, do you know what? They may not zoom up, but they are doing steadily well. They're improving. They just announced, exceeding results as well.
I guess the big question for me, you know, having sort of missed that run up there, despite having us talked about it numerous times on this show, is, you know, how much further can it go? Is, you know, it's never too late. You know, if something's got huge growth potential. So I've got, you know, having that go away and listen, have another look at it, and what the longer term potential is.
Yeah, I think it's one of those steady growers. It's not going to be, you know, it means not highly liquid. So if you get a big buy, it may shoot up. But it's one of those ones I think that will keep improving now, because their strategy of loaning on their own book is doing very well. I say, and banks are stepping back from small and medium sized businesses, so they're stepping in doing that. So So what else was on that? Let's have a look. There's Mercy Asset Management, Arix Bioscience, Griffin Mining.
What's the other one you bought?
I'm not saying.
Oh, for God's sake.
Well, don't give me maybe I'll next week or something. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I own.
But do some research on time. Go on. What do you own?
Yeah, Angry Direct had a, you know, and I kept sort of half an eye on the markets over Christmas. Had a huge jump.
Did it? Oh, yeah. It's nice. See.
Yeah.
Up to it's high highs, high lows. It's looking good. Yeah, very good.
Looking good.
Coming down there.
I'd actually, do you know what? I had a look at some of their social media over Christmas. You know, this is a big market. Fishing is huge. I think the market, you know, the stock market, I think they're missing this one. Barely a comment on a 10% jump on a share price over the holiday period, and you know, in fact there was no news. So I'm just trying to work out what everyone seems to be missing here.
Well, I looked at it on my weekly webinar I do on my investment club, and I said, you know, this is cheap. I mean, I don't know how much it can grow, but you know, angling is very popular. My kids are taking them angling and all that stuff, and it is the number one sort of, you know, it's the go-to. It's like the Pets at Home or B&Q or something like that. It's where you go, isn't it? If you're new to it, unless you get your local one there, but you know, it seems very good.
There was a comment when we spoke about it before from a listener viewer, who said that you know, the real issue potentially is France, where it's a much more price competitive market, and France is a huge market for fishing, and a huge, you know, market for expansion for angling direct. So that's I guess the issue. But you know, they seem to be at the top of their game, this company.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. It's hobbies, isn't it? You know, like once you get into it, you tend to stick with it for a few years, and so you got that recurring revenue. People go and buy, you know, upgrading their kit, or it's worn out, all that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no limit to the amount you can spend.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Supermono, Happy New Year, Justin, John, Greg. How many short of 5,000 are you? I met these Chinese guys over Christmas who can probably sort it out. Yeah. No, we get a lot of emails like that. Do you want us to increase your? No, you can't do that, because like, I don't know how people to increase their
organic.
But yeah, we must be honest and transparent with it. Okay, Happy New Year. Keep up the good work, Michael. An increase in pre-bookings for likes of lounges, Revolution bars, XP Factory have the same. I like Lounges, a different customer to Weatherspoons.
I
Don't
like
know.
lounges.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
like that
yeah.
company. Like the company. Went back to my old town. They've opened there.
Have they?
And yeah, it's extraordinary. I used to live in a town called Malden in Essex, and it's always a nice smattering of restaurants on the high street. But now it's becoming a food destination. And lounges is right in the middle of it. I think it's a great concept, great food, good price, really nice surroundings. Definitely one on my watch list.
Yeah, let's look at the chart there. Is that performing? Wow, it really jumped up. What was that about?
Yeah, I know I missed that again. Bloody, I've been talking about this. But I was thinking, right, it's been pootling along the bottom. I like this company. I'm gonna have it at some point. But I haven't missed much really.
No, it is breaking up. It
Yeah,
seems though. Did it break above that previous high then? It's holding there. That's quite a good sign.
Yeah, I like it. And, I mean, again, with any pub group, you've got to look for the cost of expansion, how much debt it's taken on. But I do think it has a good formula. And
Yeah.
there's a thing that's adding to its portfolio, which is these sort of roadside diners. I think there's a big gap in the market there. I hate motorway services. If they can do something different, I'm there.
Yeah. Okay. So there's some news out today on the front page of Vox here. Hvivo. You hold
Mm,
those as well, don't you, John? Do you hold those?
I do. Yeah,
There we
yeah. They're
are.
my best
Good
before,
news.
right, by a
That's
country
it.
mile.
Yeah, it's nice to see company come up with positive news first trading day of the year. And
Mm,
so what
mm.
is it, 6.2 million is it of this biotech client?
Yeah, so it's
So
quite
yeah,
appropriate as well. I'm sitting here. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got a stinking cold.
yeah.
And this is a contract to provide the human challenge trials to a biotech that's working on the common cold, which obviously
Okay.
the human rhinovirus, which no one has ever been able to cure. And this is it's a nice little contract. Doesn't change the forecast. Or certainly the brokers haven't upgraded on the back of it. It really just
Mm.
underpins the solidity of the order book that they already have. And this is this sort of starts to get delivered towards the end of this year in their new facility, Big Canary Wharf facility.
Yeah.
And
Look
the
at
thing about that facility is, and this is where I think the forecast might start to change, is that it allows them to deliver these challenge trials a lot more efficiently.
Yeah. Well, look at the chart. That's nice. So you see there's 200 moving values. Broke that. Don't buy something when old money breaks that because sometimes it has to fall
Mm,
back.
mm.
You want to break the next high. So you bought this pretty much. Next high, we're at 14 pence, and then it's come back down. You say when you have the
Well, I
aggressive
bought them
buying, say
twice.
for
I've bought them
yeah.
twice.
Oh,
So
yeah. Nice.
I bought them, 15p. When was that? Beginning of last year. I bought them again in September at 20p. So
Yeah.
that's what goes back to that what we said about time finance.
Yeah.
You can keep buying.
Yeah.
So you're
Well,
not necessarily buying too late.
yeah, the reason why I didn't mention it last time is that I didn't have a huge position. I still don't have a huge position now, but I did have a small position. There's not a lot of liquidity there. And then I'll give
Mm,
you an example. They came out with a trading update that was like ahead of. Sometimes it's just a liquidity event for people, you know. Look at this. They came out with a trading update ahead of expectations. It dropped, so I bought some more down here, and
yeah,
I thought, well,
yeah,
excellent. And it's back up then. And
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, HV, nice looking chart there. So
I can certainly see myself buying some more of that at some point. Because
yeah,
look at that chart. There'll probably be a little pullback, and when that
yeah.
happens, I'll add a few more.
What's nice now though is that it's there. You can see previous
Mm,
support there,
mm.
broke that, and they came back. Literally recently, but it's now above that previous high, which is also very good, very bullish. I tell you what's interesting today. In
Cracking
fact,
company.
yeah, another one here is very interesting. LungLife. I got tripped out. I had some stop loss in here. I was up on it, but the trouble is, it's very very liquid. This one, I couldn't even get in my ISA on Barclays, so I had it on thing. I wish I just got tripped out.
Mm.
And then it's fine. I didn't lose any money. In fact, I made a little bit of money, but it was so annoying because it tripped me out. But this is the news was they said it would be in Q4. And so people started selling because it didn't land. But this news is there's validation of their study, circulating tumor cells. It's very good. Paul's written a piece on this today, but
Mm.
it's a huge market. And like I said, I think it's their test. Their lung LBs achieved 81% positive predictive value. And this is small nodules. This is versus 60%, 67% for CT and PET scans.
Mm.
So they use circulating tumor cells, they use AI as well to analyze that data, but it's a lot more effective and a lot more accurate than what's out there at the moment.
Well, it's not
And like I said,
invasive. It's not invasive as well,
yeah,
which is massively important. And
yeah,
I mean, I agree with Paul here. I struggle personally to invest in pre-revenue companies.
yeah.
I'm not comfortable taking on that risk. But that's not to say there isn't a massive opportunity I think diagnostics is really, I mean, as well as sort of providing the picks and shovels like Hvivo for supporting in the industry finding new treatments, I actually think diagnostics is going to be where a lot of growth comes from, prevention almost rather than cure, as it were. We're certainly getting there very early.
Yeah. When I look at, like I said, there's always room for one or two. It depends on your exposure, but not too much. But what I call hope high potential stocks is the pre-revenue stocks, but they have to have massive market potential. And when you got cancer, of course, one of the biggest killers of all. Like I say, if you look at anyone who dies above the age of 65, 70, they are diabetes. They're heart disease, cancer, dementia, and so cancer is one of the biggest killers out there. And of cancer, it's lung cancer that is the most the biggest killer. And so if you can find something that will improve the rates there of analyzing that early stage, because that's the problem. When it gets a late stage, you can't do anything with it. All you can do is try and manage it. This is early stage where they can cure it if it's early enough, and that's a really key area.
Just think of the cost savings on healthcare systems that it would be had if you could head these illnesses off at the pass. And actually I think an interesting thing about LungLife is it seems like the US insurers, the US healthcare insurers have already started to recognise this.
Yeah, they got $2,000 a test. Also, pre-revenue companies, loss-making companies. One of the first things you look at. Two questions you should ask yourself: how much cash they got? How long will it last? That's and they say they've got cash runway until at least June 2024. So I would like to get back into these. I really would. I think it's an amazing company, and the tech is amazing. But it's just like I can't get in my eyes, and literally they open up an IG to the site, and it's very. I mean, the critics get better, I suppose. But I may do get back into them. I think I'm going to wait though until maybe that fundraising's done. And then they've got a longer, thing. But I do like them a lot.
If this is game changing, as they say, this is, what's the market cap today? 11.7 million. So you've got there's some upside here potentially.
Yeah. I tell you what's very interesting news today. When the most read and it dropped on the news was Plexus. I know.
This is a funny one.
Because it seems like they've done some of this deal. And Paul Scott was talking about massive amounts of money for this, the IP they had. But it seems
it's not that massive, is it?
No, but it seems like to me that who's it? SLB. What are they called? What are they called? The big the SLB there. Schlumberger, yeah, Schlumberger. And it seems like they've acquired their license for no royalties whatsoever. It's almost like a perpetual royalty-free license.
There is an investor that I've long followed on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think what he says, I agree with this, because I was looking at things thinking, okay, so on the face of it looks like a good deal. They've got out of one business so that they can focus on others where there's presumably greater potential, but the shares are down nearly 20%.
Yeah.
This guy, Ron Boyd, who I've, let's say long followed on Twitter, he says, SLB gets a royalty-free perpetual license. Plexus gets to repay the directors' loans and pursue some other stuff. What shareholders get is very much unclear to me, and that's kind of what I took out of the statement. What's the upside? Where's the value? Good numbers.
You can see, yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes, yeah, exactly. When the market, what the market reaction is down 19%, and you're thinking, they've given away a lot of their IP for free for no royalty payments.
Keys to the kingdom, I think, was been described as.
Yeah. Well, I don't know much about the story. But I just read that 5.2 million, and then the fact that normally when they got a 20 million market cap, you do a deal like that, 5.2 million, it should rise. But I thought, okay, people are expecting more here because it didn't rise. It seems like now they are, like I said, that to me, wouldn't you like to require, perpetual royalty-free license? That's it. What can you charge them something? Even $1 or something per use or whatever. And that would be because Schlumberger is massive. It's the biggest oil and gas services industry in the world, aren't they?
Yeah, massive, absolutely huge.
Yeah. So it's a pity that it didn't come off as people thought. So who knows? You can see
I might be wrong, and if someone can tell me why those shares, that reaction is wrong, is an overreaction, the 18% drop, then please feel free to comment. But yeah, I don't see. I understand why the shares are down.
Yeah. John, get yourselves on the common cold trial. Here we are, John. I'm a shareholder.
Join up to flu camp.
I'm doing some really, some deep research here.
Yeah.
Is everyone going to flu camp this year, everyone? Way! I sent my kids off to flu camp. You get them out of the house for summer. Yeah, impressive chart as Alan saying for Hvivo, announcing another big contract. Yeah, and yeah, Canary Wharf and LungLife AI. Yes, good. Perhaps having an entry nibble when you like something would serve us well. Stocks
Mm,
I've watched for ages. This is all part of. Listen, do you know what I've been
it's
writing the
true.
last 6 months? I've been writing a book, right, on investing, and part of it's the part of it's the how, and that's portfolio management because it's very little I learned about that when I was investing, but it's so important. It's as important as what you're investing in and when you're investing in. So I do, what, when, how, and it's about that, about exposure, about not going too big. Because I say there's always pullbacks, and if you go smallish starting off, and it goes wrong, then your mistake would be small, But there's always time if you pick the right company. It's got scale. There's always time to average up if it's going in the right direction. But sometimes you come out, you have news and it's wrong. Something's gone wrong with the company. And then if
Mm.
you put like a load of money into it, you're in trouble. You can't get yourself out. So, getting not only the right companies, when to invest, but also how to invest in this portfolio management. And
I quite
picked up
like
the,
that. It's scaling in, which is not an expression that I like, but
yeah.
actually having an entry nibble, give yourself a bit of skin in the game, and maybe pay attention a bit more is a good approach. I wish I'd have done that with a couple of companies this year.
Yeah. There we are. Well, Phil said there, Plexus reminds me of why I don't invest in what I can't understand.
Mm.
I second what John said. Is very confused. Yeah. And also, Phil said he's having an itch for Focusrite, but haven't bought.
Yeah. Oh, I missed again. There was a little bounce after we spoke about that. Annoying.
I bought. I don't know if you see, I've set up a new site, right? And I want to get out to A-level economics students, all that kind of. If any of you teach A-level economics students, please pass on my website, Champion Investor, because it's how I started to invest. My economics A-level teacher, just when back in the old days with the Financial Times, you had to go to the library, and it's what got me into it, and I gamified a bit. But I bought that on my little website, the Fancy Stocks and Shares one, and it did quite well. And I saw it there. But yeah, it's Focusrite. I think it's a good company, isn't it? It had a nice bounce,
Mm.
but I think a lot of stocks at the moment they've had a nice little bounce, and they may be consolidating a little bit now for the next leg up. But look, this Focusrite's come down for a long way. But
I
you
think we
like
spoke about it
Focusrite, didn't
right
you?
there at that near the
Yeah,
bottom. We did, in fact,
yeah,
speak about it at
yeah,
the bottom. So
yeah.
I think it's done. I think it's kind of about 30% since then.
Yeah,
It's
well, look at that. Yeah, so good. Hang on, where's my thing here? Press
but so yeah, but this I think there's a lot of scope for
yeah,
further movement here.
yeah.
The the founder Phil Dudderidge
Oh,
on an MBE
OBE.
today. OBE,
Yeah,
sorry, OBE. I can
yeah.
remember
So
which one. Yeah,
yeah, so if you want to, but yeah, I mean, I said I did quite well on that on my fancy stocks and shares list. So I
mm.
don't know, I'm good at that. What
I
else is
still I
news?
still like it. I think I was
Yeah.
reading something the other day about so the nature of the music industry, the live music industry,
Mm,
and what's happening there is a transition away from sort of smaller venues towards mega clubs, mega venues, huge festivals.
mm.
In fact, I was looking at it over Christmas. There's a new club which is opening an old IKEA in Tottenham, and
Wow.
it has a 15,000 person capacity. So this is the industry that Focusrite is in. It's moved into this big sound industry, and I think that's just it's only going one way. That it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, the clubs are
Yeah.
getting bigger. The sound systems will need to be absolutely vast, and that's exactly what this company does.
Yeah. So looking at some rises here, DJI Innovate was that? Did you cover that? The Welsh company
We
based
did it.
in
This is the electric. So
Tesla. Yeah.
they poached the Tesla trio, didn't they? So
Yeah, Tesla Trio's in
it's a
there.
battery
Long Life
development.
Rising. Sareum, which I don't know much about, 51 million market cap, looks of it. They have developed and commercialization license SRA 737. This is a clinical stage biotech company developing next generation kinase inhibitors for autoimmune disease
Mm.
and cancer. They announced the company's co-development partner has entered a development commercialization and license agreement for them. So we are. They get upfront payment of 500,000, and there's more to come. They say additional payments to the aggregate amount of 289 million may become payable, and of course under certain. I assume that's clinical stage
Yeah, nice truck.
sort of satisfying those clinical stages. Maybe that's, but yeah. But anyway, it's good deal. A SAR, let's look at the chart there. But 51 million. Let's look at Sareum Holdings. Oh, look at that. It's really hammered. But I mean, it's
Mm.
having a little pop today,
Well,
but it's been
it's
hammered.
totally pre-revenue, and we're not
Yeah.
expecting any turnover until 2025, really. So I mean, of course, this might change that today, but it's just I find this too hard bracket.
Yeah. Elix. I was thinking about Elix. What is Elix? Do I know Elix? Elix International.
No,
The 294 million market cap. Let's look at the I'll show the screen here. A global awarding consultancy challenging unusual consultancies. Wow, this is
what does that mean?
acquisition of Insignium. So you're saying what is it? What are they? Oh, I don't
Chance
know. Is it
consultancy.
okay?
Uh,
Is it about AI?
no, it's just like generic consultancy.
Oh, some.
It's just
So the chat there is
McKinsey, a mini McKinsey.
okay.
I
Chris,
know
any
nothing.
thoughts on Elix as being standard for companies looking to adopt AI?
Is it okay? I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I
have a
don't
look at it.
know.
I didn't realize there were many listed consultants. I'll have to have a look at that.
Let's
But
know about it because I don't know if you've done research on it. Of course, we don't know about it, so let's know.
yeah, I'll have a look.
Anything else on the front page here? We're looking at. I mean, big fallers here. It's a Canadian issue of equity there because that's what they do. It's a lot of Plexus down 20% now. Masters, a lot of resource companies
Yeah,
in your followers list here, which is odd because China, I think, come up with, I mean, a little bit better. If you look at the news here, the manufacturing PMI was up to 50.8, predicted, beat the 50.4. So maybe the bottom for China. Who knows? It would help, resource companies. But
yeah,
that's anything else here? Gene Drive. Oh, there's not a lot there. I did chat to Neil. He's bought now. Neil from you'll
Lancet.
like this Atlantic Lithium. I mean, this is some more shareholder buying right here on the front page. This is who are these? This is the CEO and the finance director. They both bought more, but I said Neil has got now about 1 point. Looking at about 27 pence a share, which is down at him. He got about probably 1.8 million quid's worth now of shares in this.
Mm.
So he is putting his money where his mouth is, and
Got like skin in the game. Absolutely.
yeah, 1.24. He's buying up, and probably say it's one of the best projects been involved with. But also, he said lithium the price has come off a bit. He said that's good for us. We're not producing until 2025.
Mm.
That's when the deficit is predicted to kick in. And he said, of course, and while this the lithium price is coming down, it makes it unviable for many miners, not for us. He said our all-in sustaining cost is around about $600. The price of lithium is about double that. So, even that, they're getting a heck of a margin off it. And he said, because we are very efficient and low cost, going to be a low cost producer, it doesn't hurt us. He said, a bit cruel, but it doesn't hurt us if the price comes off a little bit in the next year or so until we start producing.
Yeah.
So, and he's predicting that, well, I suppose most people are, lithium prices will go up because, of course, they're massively leveraged to the price of lithium. When it does go up, then he's been buying shares here at the bottom there quite nicely. So you get double leverage. And I can't see lithium. I mean, it takes 10 to 15 years to bring a lithium mine online.
Yeah.
And I think they need about 50 odd mines to happen in the next 5 years. And it's not going to happen. So it's a simple play on the lithium. Where is it all? Where is the chart on? There we are. It's just bumping along here, going nicely.
Yeah, the whole lithium sector has been a bit of a roller coaster. But the trouble is with it when it's it is ultimately going to be leveraged to the lithium price one day, and so all investors can look at really is the sort of here and now and some kind of forecast. But it's just the nature of commodities. It's a tricky one.
Yeah. Quick look at some business stories there. We know that house prices fell in 2023, but they're saying that it's got Robert Gardner saying it may fall again in 2024, a little bit. I don't know if that's going to happen though.
I'd heard of the forecast of sort of a minor fall in 2024.
Yeah, I think the house prices, I think house builders have rallied enough for now. I think they've all rallied strongly, way ahead of the curve. Look at sort of Taylor Wimpey. I mean, look at them. They've all considering we're in a bit of a sluggish market downturn, and they've rallied a lot, haven't they? From the
I
bottom.
think I said the other day, there's this sort of recognition that actually, although the sort of numbers in terms of completions and sales, were very bad, and the forecasts are also very bad. Their ability to sort of turn the brake on and off on the sort of cash flow profile with the land banking or land purchasing or not, as the case may be. I think people have woken up to the fact that it's just a deep value sector.
Yeah, I think they may have to go
Um,
sideways for a while though. I don't think they're going to rally a lot. What else is it? Did you see that interview with Elon Musk where he laughed when someone suggested? I think it was from Betty Liu. I think it was from Bloomberg, who talked about BYD or whatever the Chinese
right.
EV maker, and he started laughing at the state of their cars. It looks like now they're going to be the top producer in the world for electric cars. They're going to overtake
So
Tesla.
he was
They said.
laughing at the state of their cars.
Yeah, it basically it must have been about 5 years ago, I think, 6 years ago, and this Bloomberg anchor was saying, BYD was doing very well, and he just started laughing. He said, "What? Have you
Yeah.
seen the quality of the cars?" He said, and all that.
Well, I've
And
heard similar complaints made about Teslas, to be honest.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But
So look at this. They're doing it. They've already sold 526,000 in the last 3 months. They reckon Tesla will do 483,000 in the last 3 months. So
mm,
it's having said that, moving on electric. This is in this country we've missed the target for high. These quick, fast, big chargers in service stations. They wanted the one in every one motorway station, but apparently now there's only 1 in 4 in 10 have
yeah,
these high powered things.
it's
Yeah.
hardly any. It's
Mm.
I think we've spoken about this one. BP and Shell, which obviously own more filling stations than anyone else, have virtually nothing.
Yeah.
It's an independent company. I can't remember its name that has the sort of biggest charging network in the UK.
Is it? It's not Pod Point, is it?
Might be Pod
Um,
Point. Yeah, it's Pod Point.
Pod
But
Point's listed. Yeah, Pod Point's listed. It's one of the, it's another one. It's 3 years.
I can't
In
remember the
fact,
name of the other one.
someone look
But
it up.
but Shell
But
and BP, it has to be the big boys that make this happen.
yeah, do you know what I
Particularly
like
if you want
about
the
this? Right,
roadside. Hmm?
it took my own book up. Do you know what I like about this? All these, every time you see right any kind of data or stats or report on charging, right, you'll see it's done by ZapMap, right? And who owns ZapMap? Well, it's owned 49% by Good Energy. And
There
I
you
quite like
go.
that. It's the
Yeah.
data they do payment points through ZapMap and everything. And I quite like that. It's almost like
Oh,
you talk about picks and shovels. Everyone's focusing on the charges themselves. Who has the data on all those charges? Is ZapMap. It's the biggest now in the country. And so I quite like that. They have all the data coming through. Because data is very valuable, isn't it? People
yeah.
want to see,
Wonder.
which charges are working, where they're working, where the fast charges are, all that stuff. ZapMap have that,
Yeah.
That's Good Energy on that.
On a similar note, it's one we've spoken about before, but it's worth having a look at the chart. YouGov.
Yeah.
Here's a British 20. I mean, that's bounced back as we knew it would.
Yeah.
Very, very, very strongly. This is the year for YouGov. I think it's half of humanity goes to the polls in 2024.
All right. Yeah. Good
Half of
point.
humanity.
Yeah.
so, so
Well,
yeah, there's a lot of business
finish
coming
off
their
my
way this year.
look at that chart. That's Good
Mm,
Energy. It went mad. I was really frustrated with it, just going down here and going. I thought I bought the right point here, and it came down, went down, and I think I bought, but my mortgage went mad. But it's come back a bit, but it's still now holding. But I quite like the fact that they have the data behind all the EV chargers. That's them pretty much. They own
mm,
49% of that business. But I
yeah.
quite like that. Okay. Any other comments catch up on? Let's have a look. Any thoughts on MHC sell COVID test kits in boots? Seem to stock and cash, but
Oh,
shares done nothing. Um, Mr. Steve Lithium, Aussie's mothballing production won't help when prices rise, as you'll be able to fill the gaps in 2020. Yeah, but if you mothball something, it still takes a while to bring it back on, doesn't it? I mean, it takes about 18 months, 2 years. You can't just start a mine back up. They're hugely complex things, they mine. Everything from environmental purposes, for health and safety, all that stuff. Still happy to
which
hold
hugely expensive
all.
to operate as well. So that
Yeah,
sort of it tells you about the
yeah,
lithium demand today, lithium price today.
yeah. In fact, someone said, Phil, the interesting article I read in IC for house prices. Many customers have been buying houses with very long mortgages, 30 years plus. I know, but that's nuts, isn't it? Because why would you do that? It's like, to me, I wouldn't buy you would get a short mortgage now, wouldn't you? Because interest rates coming down next couple of years,
Yeah, I'd get a
surely.
short mortgage for sure.
I know. Well, trash Tesla, yeah. Build quality. The first car made in South Korea was made out of all drums and looked like a joke. Okay. Uh, Berkshire
My
Hathaway
first car.
were early investor in BYD. Yeah, I mean, I saw one of the BYDs when they first investor meets. They had Charlie Munger at the investor meets there. So Berkshire Hathaway invested in BYD. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
mm.
MHC. What is MHC? Sorry.
My health checked.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, we'll have a look at them later. We're running over time there. It's come down a lot, but it's rallied recently. Yeah. Cool. All right. Marvelous stuff. Thank you everyone for tuning in. First of the year. still warming up. We're still digesting the alcohol and the food from Christmas and New Year, but it'll get better. Hit that like and subscribe button if you could, and don't forget, of course, download the Vox Markets app. It's free. voxmarkets.co.uk/app. John, are you back on Friday?
Absolutely.
Yes, so maybe
Yeah,
it's
it's stock
Tuesday.
screener.
The start of the week
Yeah.
is Tuesday, so
Strange,
not far
isn't it?
off. Yeah, we'll do
Strange.
our Friday stock screener. Marvel stuff. Cheers, John. Speak then. Cheers, buddy.
See you later.